Hello. This is a quick presentation and explanation of the first assignment with digital audio workstations. In particular, Soundtrap is the one we're going to use going forward for the rest of the year. So these first few are examples of different digital audio workstations: Ableton Live, FL Studio, GarageBand, Logic Pro, Pro Tools, and Soundtrap. They're all the same thing, just different companies, different platforms. The one we're going to use is Soundtrap because we have a free educational license granted to us that allows us most access to most things in the program. Okay, so moving forward, the first thing we're going to do is just go over a couple quick objectives for this first lesson, define what a digital audio workstation and its use are, and then define the 5-step recording process to kind of frame what we're thinking about doing, and then explore Soundtrap. So digital audio workstation is electronic application software used for recording, editing, and producing audio files. And so it's used for anything from music, songs, speech, radio, television, soundtracks, podcasts, sound effects, and any situation where complex recorded audio is needed. So digital audio workstations are used to record pretty much anything, any type of audio, like this last slide said. So we're going to talk about the recording process, whether it's music or it's a podcast or it's anything. The first thing you want to do is make sure you brainstorm and have everything written out before you go in, because typically if you're going into somebody that's using a digital audio workstation or recording something, you're going to be charged money. So you want to have everything in line before you do that. When you then record, you typically go in the order of rhythm, harmony, melody, and then adding color. Then once you have all those things laid down, then you're going into editing, and you might arrange the order that things go in. Comping is a process where if you recorded the same thing multiple times, choosing the one that you like most. Noise reduction, editing out like background noise. Time and pitch, the left to right, and then the high-low. Mix and master are the last steps, which are kind of a production step where you're balancing the level of all the tracks. Panning is if you want things to be left or right. Equalizing, compressing, and reverb are all ways that you edit the sound. And then mastering is doing the same thing mixing is, but combining all the tracks and going through some of that again. So I have a short Google quiz that I set up to go through. All right, so here's our short Google quiz. Type in your name, type in whatever class period, and just a couple of short questions from the presentation. What does digital audio workstation stand for? Digital audio workstation. What is a DAW? Best answer here. All of these are correct, but the most correct answer is electronic application software used for recording, editing, and producing audio files. What are the uses of a DAW? Again, the most correct answer is to use for music, songs, speech, radio, television, soundtracks, podcasts, sound effects, any situation where recorded audio is needed. What is the correct order of the recording process? Brainstorm first, master last. What is the most important step? Brainstorming so that you don't waste your money. And describe in your own words the recording process. The recording process, is, and then explain it in your own words. I'll let you fill that last one out. It's a quick 10 points. You have to write at least 100 characters to respond effectively. And then we're going to move on to doing the Soundtrap assignment. So it's in Classroom right here. The instructions are there. You just click on the link to open it. And what you should get is 3 tracks like this that I've already arranged. So with the first assignment, all you're going to do is double these 3 tracks at a minimum. Now, I've already seen some assignments that have come in and people have gotten creative with it, which is great, but I'm just going to show you the minimum you have to do, which is really just understanding how to add loops in the program. So you're going to click on the purple notes over here. You're going to click on drums first. We're going to add a drum track. So I've already got one drum track here, and I'm going to solo this track so I can hear what it sounds like. And the other thing I'm going to do is click on this cycle so that I can hear my drum part on a loop. It cycles it. And what that's going to do for me is that as I listen to different drum parts, I can decide which one I like best to go with the one that I already have. For some reason, I really like that disco one. So when I found one that I like, I just click and drag it onto the grid over here. And it's going to add it. And then I can click and drag again and move it up. Solo it with the first track. And now I've got both together. Those two together kind of sound nice. So the other thing that I can do, that I like to do, is to make these two tracks the same color. So this one's got kind of a nice blue. So I'm going to click here, click on color, and then make it the same color blue. So my drum tracks are blue. All right, the next thing I'm going to add is this guitar pattern, which is red. So let's listen to what we've got with that. Okay, so I'm going to click off of drums, and I'm going to click on guitar. And I'm going to add a guitar part that sounds like it works. Now we're in the key of C, so I want to make sure that I select something that's in the key of C with this. And if it's not, there's a really easy way to change that to help it go with. So we're just going to listen to a couple of examples again. Stop this for a second. So now let's click on the track itself. Let's click on edit and transpose. It says it's in C minor, so that actually won't work. We want something in a major key. So we're just going to have to undo that and find something else that works. Again, let's make sure, it's another C minor. It's not, let's see if we can transpose it. We sure can. So we have to find something in a major key. So I'm just striking out today with finding something. Let's just go simple. Down here we've got some ukulele strums. So I'm just going to pull that on. And there we go. That'll work. And I'm going to drag it up underneath the guitar pattern and make it orange so that it's the same color. And now I've got 4 tracks. So the last part you're going to add is a track that you create yourself using the piano. So we're done using loops at this point, and we're going to add one new track with the piano, piano and keyboards, and we are in the key of C major, so any of these white keys work. You can click on them, or you can also use your keyboard to play them. And we're going to turn on the metronome. And it's muted, that's why I can't hear it. There we go. So make sure you have that. All right, and what we're going to do, we've got it set on loop, so I can hear my loop, and I can just kind of play and hear something I like, how it sounds, and then eventually, once I have an idea, I'll record it with what I have. Get that on right. Yeah, I have. Just kind of listen for a second. I'm going to pick three keys. I'm going to pick Q, period, and comma, C, D, and D, and I'm going to come up with something with those three. I don't have any big bass sound again, so I'm going to click down on the octave. I like. So I'm going to click on this to set back to the beginning, and then click on record, and I'm going to record that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and you can see it's got the track there. And what I'm going to do now is just click on this and edit and quantize to 16th or 8th notes, and that's going to fix the pitch and the editing that I did. So let's listen to, just click off of all the solo things so we've got everything at the same time, and let's hear it. Oh, this somehow recorded the other part. So what I can do is I can click on Edit Notes, and the notes that are up here, I can select them and delete them. And yeah, we've gotten rid of that now. So we've just got these notes. Second two are starting slightly late, so I can actually just individually move that over, and that should fix it. All right, close enough for now. If I wanted to extend this presentation, I would record it again, which I can actually just do. So I'm going to do that. But if you want to stop watching now, this is just kind of an extra step. So I'm going to open the instrument back up. I'm going to hit record, and I'm going to try and get this a little bit closer this time. So now I kind of liked how the first one I played sounded exactly right. So here's another shortcut that you could use. When you're doing this, if you click on edit notes, and they actually do this in the studio too. See how that first one is really well in time? And it takes 2 measures on the grid here. So I can click copy when I have that selected, move my cursor here, delete this, and then paste. Look at that right there. Same thing now with the next 2. And that last one started way late. So there we go. Oh, that's not right. Those last 2 didn't paste in the right spot. Yeah, that's not right. Make sure we copy the right one. Nope. Zoom back out. Okay. There we go. That's good. Move my cursor slightly forward to the start of 7. And we're in money now. So that pretty much finishes my assignment. I've added 2 pre-recorded loops, and I added 1 part of my own on the piano. There's no requirement for this assignment that you have to be exactly right, so just do your best.